I turned the page. Entry after entry spanning years. Plans, observations, and calculated moves. How he'd proposed to me right after my sister got engaged to someone else, because he needed to secure his position in the family. How relieved he'd been when my sister broke up with that boyfriend 6 months later. How he'd maneuvered to sit next to her at family gatherings. How he'd memorized her interests and opinions so he could agree with her. An entry from 4 years ago, right after our daughter was born. The second baby solidifies everything. 2 children create obligations that can't be easily dissolved. She's tied to me now through the children, which means her family is tied to me, including her sister. The long-term game is working. How could she have decided to have children with me? Because that would solidify the connection permanently. Would it make it impossible for anyone to take me away? Another entry from 2 years ago. I convinced her to cut her hair shorter, like her sister's. She actually thanked me for the suggestion. Said it's more practical with the kids. She doesn't realize I just want her to look more like the person I really want. I photographed every page with my phone. My hands were shaking so much that some of the photos came out blurry. My sister was standing in the doorway watching, her face getting paler with each page I turned. "I'm going to throw up," she said, and disappeared into the bathroom. I heard her gagging, heard the water running. I kept photographing. There were 67 pages. 67 pages of obsession, manipulation, and cold, calculating planning. When I finished, I stood up and looked around the room with fresh eyes. How many nights had I slept next to him while he was thinking about her? How many times had he touched me while imagining someone else? "We need to go," my sister said from the doorway, her face wet where she'd been splashed. "We need to get out of here right now." I agreed. I took the journal, the evidence pressed to my chest as we closed the door and left. In the car, neither of us spoke for several minutes. "I'm sorry," she said finally, her voice cracking. "I'm so sorry this happened to you because of me. This isn't your fault." I told her, and I meant it. This is because he's sick. This is because he's a predator who saw you when you were 16 and decided to use me to get close to you. None of this is your fault. But I could